Let me show you some photos of Earth, what we call of nature, and if these don't wake you up, of the silicon times before the flood, although I'm not sure if it was before the flood or if that's accurate enough, because I am ignorant, but at least I can show you. And if you don't wake up thanks to this, then it's because you don't want to. So you see, remember, like when you see the different type of vegetation, like mushrooms and stuff, or like different type of stuff, or like the tree stumps, whether in a way or another. So mesa means flat like a table on the surface. That's why they're called mesa. And always keep in mind the way that they go downwards in a diagonal shape, just like the tree stumps, right? And more mesas all across the world. Look at this. Can you see the tree stump that goes inside the earth? And then you're just left with exactly like when you go for a walk and you see in gardens or in parks cut trees. And here you can have the comparison between our typical cut tree made of carbon and your typical cut tree made of silicon, which is the reason why you see it petrified. Can you see the rings, right? If this doesn't wake you up, then I don't know what will. Mushroom type vegetation, right? So just like in our days, but in the old days they were bigger. Again, another mesa type mountain. Mushroom. Even the name is mushroom, right? Then according to scientists, they say, oh, it's because of the erosion of water and wind. How can you actually accept those things just because you go to a university or you read a magazine or something? Tree stumps again, very big. Here you go, tree stumps, so you can compare. They're mesas when they're completely cut. They're like these mountain ranges when they're totally something violent happened and they're broken. And of course, they're also buttes when you see actually the tree was cut at a lower level, higher level, and you see more of the tree stump. You don't have to be a genius. Again, mushroom type thing. Mushroom or like this type of vegetation from the old world. Tree stump. Again, the comparison between the art style, what we see in the movies of Avatar, and after you cut the tree, you get the tree stump, right? So it's just that simple. Probably these are the type of things that even shock the people who they call themselves that they woke up because they're awake because they know about the flat earth, or also the hollow earth, which is the earth is flat on the surface but it's hollow inside in some parts. And probably the only thing that would there's one more thing that would allow people to call me crazy, because that's what people do. Yeah, but I'm going to leave that for a different video. For now, I'm just going to focus on this. If by seeing this and you compare, because remember, like, we are carbon and water based entities, individuals. Before they were silicon based, so no carbon or water. It's impossible for both to be at the same time living, just because of the properties in the chemical and biology. But yeah, mushrooms, and these are truly amazing. If this doesn't wake you up, then I don't know what will. Mushrooms. And then again, this is in German, but it says, what do you see? What do you see? And in different parts of the world, right? And here it's like a village, all together, like all the houses on the dead corpse of a tree, a tree stump. Makes sense, because you're safe there, no flooding, no other problems. You want to be in a higher place. It was flat on the surface, so you didn't have to worry about making the surface flat, and places like these in the world. So yeah, I love these. They compare it to the peaches and other type of fruits with their seeds inside. So yeah, mushroom vegetation, of course, that's why they're so perfectly round, and sphere, because our fruits like peaches and other type of fruits, they're also round sphere. And even inside you can see it's exactly identical. So here we have the huge fruits of the giant titanic trees, all petrified. So yeah, you wonder why, because we have these like spheres all across nature in many places in the world, and nobody wants to give an explanation because they're just afraid of the reality of the real world. Actually saying, hey, it was a different type of vegetation. Here again, I think this was in Iraq. As you can see from the distance and the zoom, people already built their stuff on the mesa, on the flat surface. It makes life easier, and I would do the same. Look at this, an ancient old world vegetation type thing. I'm not sure if it's like a mushroom or like a smaller tree, and it's petrified. So yeah, this one again. You don't get these things because of erosion. Only scared people say that about erosion and natural erosion. Here again, on top of what's left of the old world, this is a mining, so it's not a natural mountain. You can see the layers. This is in Antarctica. Oh no, sorry, this is in the Himalayas. The Himalayas. You see the mining in layers, and everything is so nicely cut in angles and right angles. Again, not natural, not erosion, but mining. Again, this one is definitely not something that is done by erosion. These ones are totally insane when you see them, how they're left like that. And look at the size of the hand, right? So a bigger human. It has 5 fingers, right? So it's still human. This is in Wyoming. This is in Japan, megaliths, and as you can see, that's not something that you have water or wind do. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed. And remember, one picture is worth more than 1,000 words. And you don't need to be a genius to understand the past of this world.